Fritz, and Mike Wolfe. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is. Have a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Up for over a decade, Fritz and Mike Wolfe were the dynamic duo of the hit reality TV show American Pickers. Airing on the History Channel, the show followed these two childhood friends as they scoured the United States in the search of valuable antiques, collectibles, and one-of-a-kind treasures buried in people's garages, barns, and basements. Their undeniable chemistry and passion for finding hidden gems made the show a hit, captivating millions of viewers worldwide. But in recent years, things have taken a sour turn for Fritz and Wolfe. What was once a seemingly unbreakable friendship has been torn apart by a very public feud, leaving fans disheartened and shocked. However, long before their estrangement, Frank and Mike shared a special bond that began in their formative years. The tale of Fritz and Mike Wolfe are fascinating one, filled with success, struggles, and ultimately separation, as photos from their high school years in the 1980s recently resurfaced showed the two as fresh-faced teenagers. It's hard to imagine how their friendship could dissolve so completely. Fritz and Mike Wolfe. The early years of Fritz and Mike Wolfe grew up in a small town of Davenport, Iowa. Born in 1965, Fritz was always a bit of rebel, while Mike Wolfe, born in 1964, was known for being the more laid-back and business-minded of the two. Despite their differing personalities, the two formed a bond over their shared interest in collecting and picking, an activity that involved hunting for antiques, valuable items, or anything with historical significance. It was during their childhood that the seeds of their future careers were planted. Both boys had a fascination with objects that told a story. Mike Wolfe was especially drawn to old bicycles, and by the time he was in his early teens, he was already restoring and selling them. Fritz, on the other hand, was passionate about collecting firehouse-related memorabilia, gas station signs, and vintage toys. As they grew older, their love for picking evolved from a hobby into something more serious. By the time they were in high school during the early 1980s, their passion for discovering forgotten treasures were already in full swing. At high school yearbook photos from the era show the two young men with bright eyes and big dreams, though few could have 252 predicted just how far those dreams would take them. American Pickers, from obscurity to fame. In 2010, Mike Wolfe pitched the concept of American Pickers to the History Channel, and the show was an instant hit. The premise was simple: two antique enthusiasts travel across the country exploring back roads and small towns to find valuable forgotten items in barns, attics, and sheds. However, it was the dynamic between Frank and Mike that truly made the show stand out. Their contrasting personalities added a layer of entertainment to the show. Frank was the more outspoken of the two, often serving as comic relief with his blunt humor and lighthearted antics. Mike, on the other hand, was the more analytical and strategic one, always calculating the value of an item and negotiating deals with potential sellers. Together, they balanced each other out, making them the perfect team. As American Pickers gained popularity, both Frank and Mike became household names. They traveled the country together, filming multiple seasons and expanding their fan base. With each episode, they also became close. 409 to co-star Danielle Colby, who managed their store Antique Archaeology and often helped them track down leads on potential picks for years. American Pickers was at the top of its game, drawing in millions of viewers and making Frank and Mike beloved figures in the world of reality television. However, behind the scenes, things weren't as harmonious as they appeared. The rift begins: health struggles and personal differences. While Fritz and Mike Wolfe's friendship had seemingly stood the test of time, things began to unravel in the mid-2010s. By 2017, rumors of tension between the two co-stars started to circulate, though no official confirmation of a feud was made. Then in 2020, it became clear that Frank's absence from American Pickers was more than just a temporary break. In 2020, Fritz took a leave of absence from the show to focus on his health. He had been struggling with a number of health issues, including Crohn's disease, which had caused him significant discomfort and required medical treatment. Frank later revealed that he had also undergone back surgery, which had sidelined him for months. He had lost weight and was trying to manage his health, but things were taking the toll on him, both physically and mentally. Additionally, Frank had been dealing with personal issues, including a battle with alcohol addiction. In a candid interview, Frank opened up about his struggles with sobriety, sharing that he had entered rehab and was working on maintaining his sobriety. Despite his efforts, he acknowledged that he felt abandoned by Mike during this difficult period. Frank's absence from American Pickers was extended, and fans began to question when or if he would return. Meanwhile, Mike Wolfe continued to film the show without his longtime friend, leading to speculation that their relationship had deteriorated beyond repair. The public feud. What went wrong in 2021? It was officially announced that Fritz would not be returning to American Pickers. This news shocked fans who had hoped to see Frank make a comeback. However, it wasn't the announcement itself that made headlines. It was what followed. In an interview with The Sun, Fritz publicly spoke out for the first time about his falling out with Mike Wolfe. He admitted that he hadn't spoken to Mike in 2 years and expressed his disappointment with the way things had been handled. According to Frank, he felt that Mike abandoned him during his time of need and hadn't reached out to support him during his health struggles. Frank's comments painted a picture of a friendship that had not only fractured but completely dissolved. He shared that he had hoped to return to the show, but that decision was ultimately out of his hands. Frank also implied that there were deeper issues between him and Mike that went beyond the show, though he didn't go into detail. Mike Wolfe responded to Frank's comments with a public statement expressing his sadness over the situation. In the statement, Mike said, "I have known Frank for as long as I can remember. He's been like a brother to me. The journey that Frank, Danny, and I started back in 2009. Like all of life has had its ups and downs, blessings and challenges. But thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe American Pickers to our YouTube channel and stay with us."